Good morning, students. Let us discuss about reasons for the rejection of Mendel's results or Mendel's principles. Mendel he has conducted several experiments, and afterwards his results were sent to famous scientists, and scientists were not able to recognize his results because of several other reasons. So now let us understand what are the reasons for the rejection of a Mendel's results. First of all, firstly, communication was not easy in those days. Okay, because of that, Mendel's results could not widely published. So this is one of the important reasons for the rejection of Mendel's principles. And one more thing is Mendel he explained that there is something or there are factors which are stable and discrete units, and pair of alleles which do not blend with each other, so which is not accepted by the scientists of those days or his contemporaries. Okay, in this we can understand that Mendel explained factors are the stable and discrete units. There are certain factors which are responsible for the inheritance of a characteristics, and they are stable, they do not get diluted. Okay, and they are definite units, stable and discrete units, and which is not accepted by the scientists of those days. And he explained that in the inheritance of one gene or monohybrid cross, genes are factors, what he called as a factors, they do not blend, they do not mix, they get separated at the time of a gamete formation, which is not accepted by his contemporaries. And thirdly, Mendel's approach of using mathematics, okay, the whatever probabilities, mathematical logics, what he used in his experiments, okay, that is also new to, it is completely new, totally new to the scientists of those days. So this is also one more reason. And the next one is Mendel could not provide any physical evidence for the existence of factors. So these factors which are responsible for the inheritance of a characteristics, okay, for which he has not given any evidence for the existence of a factor. And also what are the chemical compositions of those factors, what they were made of, which is not explained by Mendel. Because of these reasons, okay, Mendel's results, Mendel's experiments were completely unnoticed, and because of these Mendel was greatly disappointed, and he died in the year 1884. Now, rediscovery of Mendel's results. Rediscovery of Mendel's results. Okay, in the year 1884, Mendel died because of the some disappointment, and after the death of the Mendel published all his work, all the results of his work in the year 1865, but his work was unnoticed, and I told you already he died in the year 1884. And after the death of the Mendel, after 30 years of the death of the Mendel, in the year 1900, in the year 1900, three European scientists independently conducted experiments, and they studied Mendel's results. Three European scientists, one is Hugo de Vries, and another one is Karl Correns, and next scientist is known as von Sermark. So these three scientists independently conducted studies on different organisms, and afterwards they explained that all the results of the Mendel are true and correct. And at the same time, there was a great improvement. Improvements were made. Okay, improvements were made in microscopy. Improvements were made in microscopy. Okay, because of that, cell divisions were understood by different scientists. Okay, they have understood about cell division, and the scientists were able to understand about the structures. One more thing is, okay, structures which are present, in the nucleus. Structures present in the nucleus is also understood by the scientists. Okay, and these structures were called as chromosomes. They were called as chromosomes. Okay. So then Mendel's results were clearly explained because of these are all developments, these are all achievements. Okay. Later Mendel was called as a father of genetics. Good. Now let us see here chromosomal theory of inheritance. Students, please understand here, Mendel explained the inheritance of a characteristics in his laws or in his principles, in inheritance of one gene, inheritance of two genes. So the characteristics get inherited from one generation to another generation. But he could not know about the reason for the inheritance of a characteristic, so that he understood that there is something responsible. That is something, what he called it as a factor. Now those factors are called as genes. And later on, when the microscopy improvements were made in the microscopy, and 3 European scientists, they have studied this genetics characteristics in different organisms, and later other scientists, they explained Mendel's principles based on the chromosomes. When the chromosomes were discovered, all Mendel's results were explained based on the chromosomes. That theory is called as chromosomal theory of inheritance. Okay, here these scientists, they have united the knowledge, their knowledge with the Mendel's principles. That theory is called as a chromosomal theory. Their knowledge is united with the Mendel's principles, and that theory, what we call it as a chromosomal theory of inheritance. This chromosomal theory of inheritance, it is proposed by scientists known as Walter Sutton and Theodore Boveri in the year 1902. So in this, these two scientists, they proposed this chromosomal theory of inheritance. Okay, so they worked out on meiosis. So this was very, very important milestone in the rediscovery of Mendel's principles. These two scientists, before proposing this chromosomal theory of inheritance, they worked on the process of meiosis. And later they said that when this meiosis was studied by these two scientists clearly, when meiosis was completely understood, during the process of meiosis, we know that very well, chromosomes, they come together, pairing of homologous chromosomes takes place, and next crossing over takes place, chiasma formation takes place. All these processes were when they have understood it, and later they said that okay, the behavior of the chromosomes, this is very, very important statement of the theory. So behavior of the chromosomes was parallel to the behavior of the genes. So it means behavior of the chromosomes was parallel to the behavior of genes. Now you can understand this. We can understand only after understanding about the process of meiosis. So during meiosis or during the process of a cell division, we know that very well. Chromosomes, they during metaphase stage, all the chromosomes align themselves at the equatorial region, and chromosomes during anaphase stage, chromosomes move towards opposite poles. So this is what we call it as a chromosomal behavior. So here cell division is mainly based on the chromosomal behavior. Okay, that movement of a chromosomes are very, very important. So that what behavior is exhibited by the chromosomes, same behavior is even shown by these genes also. So that there is a parallel relationship between the behavior of the chromosomes and behavior of the genes. This is most important concept of this theory of chromosomal theory of inheritance. So this is one. And Sutton and Boveri, so they used to use a chromosomal movement. They used the movement of chromosomes. You know that very well. During cell division, either in the meiosis or in the mitosis, movement of a chromosomes takes place. Just as I told you, okay, these scientists, okay, they explained, they used chromosome movement to explain the Mendel's principles or Mendel's laws. Mendel's laws, to explain the Mendel's laws, they used this chromosome movement. Okay, so this is what we can understand here. Here inheritance of a characteristics from one generation to another generation, to F1 generation to F2 generation. That is what Mendel explained. So that is all because of the movement of a chromosomes only. So this is what they explained. Here Sutton and Boveri, they argued that pairing and separation of a pair of chromosomes. So this is also very, very important. Pairing of chromosomes takes place. Pairing of chromosomes takes place during different stages of a meiosis, and also segregation or separation. Segregation or separation of chromosomes takes place. Pairing and separation of chromosomes. Pairing and separation of chromosomes. It would leads to segregation or separation. Segregation of a pair of factors. Segregation of a pair of factors takes place. Okay, so this is also very, very important concept regarding so this chromosomal theory of inheritance. So Mendel concept was explained by these two scientists, Sutton and Boveri. They argued that chromosomes, they get paired with each other and also they get separated with each other. So this pairing and separation, how they takes place, which leads to or which results in the segregation or separation of a pair of factors also. Okay, and one more thing is, so now just as I told you already, so this is Sutton and Boveri. Okay, they united the knowledge of chromosomal segregation. They united the knowledge of chromosomal segregation, separation of chromosomes, segregation of chromosomes with Mendel's principles, with Mendel's principles are called as a chromosomal theory of inheritance. So in this way, so this chromosomal theory of inheritance was explained by two eminent scientists called as Walter Sutton and Theodore Boveri. So now let us see here. In chromosomal theory of inheritance, Sutton and Boveri explained that or stated that behavior of the chromosomes were parallel to behavior of genes. How the behavior of the chromosomes and behavior of the genes are parallel with each other, that we can understand by this chart. Now let us see here. These are all behavior of the chromosomes. These are all behavior of the genes. They are parallel. Okay, now let us understand. Now this a homologous pair of chromosome. This is a chromosome. Homologous pair of chromosomes. And these homologous pair of chromosomes, they carry a definite genes. These are the genes. So these are chromosomes and these are genes. Now the chromosomes occurs in pairs. These chromosomes occurs in pairs. Now this pair of chromosomes is called as homologous chromosome, and even genes also occurs in pairs. Genes also occurs in pairs. So this is one of the parallel behavior of chromosomes and genes. So these chromosomes, they get separated at the time of a gamete formation, when the gametes are formed. Okay, at the time of gamete formation, chromosomes get separated. Chromosomes are separated. So they segregated or separated at the time of a gamete formation. Similarly, genes also get separated at the time of a gamete formation. So another one is independent pair of chromosomes separate independent of each other. So now this independent pair separated at the time of gamete formation. So similarly, genes also, one pair of gene, one pair segregate independent of another pair. So with this we can understand about the parallel behavior between the chromosomes as well as genes. Friends, here chromosomal theory of inheritance was explained by these two scientists, Walter Sutton and Theodore Boveri. Now this synthetic idea explanation was given by these two scientists, and afterwards the experimental verification of this chromosomal theory of inheritance was done by another scientist known as Thomas Hunt Morgan, or otherwise you can call it as a T.H. Morgan. Okay, he conducted experiment, different dihybrid cross experiments to understand, to explain, to verify the chromosomal theory of inheritance, which is explained by Walter Sutton and Theodore Boveri. Okay, to conduct experiments, various dihybrid cross experiments, he has taken organism known as fruit fly. He has taken fruit fly as is experimental organism. The scientific name of this fruit fly is called as Drosophila melanogaster. Drosophila melanogaster, the scientific name of this fruit fly, and which is very much used in genetic studies. Okay, and therefore Drosophila melanogaster is simple fly which can be considered as a Cinderella for genetic studies, since this organism is very much used by scientists to understand about certain principles of genetics. Okay, so Thomas Hunt Morgan conducted a number of dihybrid cross experiments by selecting this Drosophila. Okay, the common name of this is called as a fruit fly. Okay, so what are the reasons for the selection of this Drosophila melanogaster by Thomas Hunt Morgan to conduct this dihybrid cross experiments or to verify chromosomal theory of inheritance. Reasons for the selection of this fruit fly only, why not other animals or plants? Number one, firstly, so this is the simple organism or animal, okay, which can survive in simple synthetic medium. This is one of the reasons for the selection of this, and it can survive in simple synthetic medium. It grows in a simple, it survives or it grows in simple synthetic medium, simple synthetic medium in the laboratory. So this is one of the reasons. It does not require any complex material for its survival. Therefore, he considered this animal. It grows in a simple synthetic medium. And for whatever organism which is selected for genetic studies, its lifespan should be less, so that it completes its life cycle. This animal, it completes its life cycle within 2 weeks. Within 2 weeks it completes its life cycle, so that we can see many generations. Therefore, this is another reason for selection of a Drosophila melanogaster by T.H. Morgan. And this animal, it is able to produce large number of progeny. It produces large number of progeny fly, okay, by a single mating. By a single mating, it can produce a large number of progeny flies, which is helpful to understand about the different variations. So we can see different variations, or genetic studies can be better understood when large number of progenies are present. So this is another reason. And in this clear differentiation between sexes. Clear differentiation between sexes, it means we can clearly understand, we can clearly identify, easily we can identify male and female individuals, or otherwise you can say that male and female can be easily differentiated in these animals. So this is very important concept. Okay, so this is another one. And the next one is this animal has got large number of variations, large number of hereditary variations. Large number of hereditary variations are found. Large number of hereditary variations are present in this animal. Therefore, Morgan selected. So these are all very important. In addition to that, okay, number of chromosomes are less in this animal. Therefore, they could select this Thomas and Morgan could select this Drosophila melanogaster to understand about the inheritance of a characteristics to the next generation. And Morgan, by using this Drosophila melanogaster, he conducted a number of diabetic cross experiments so that he could explain about the genetic principles.